Bright suns and rising moons, fellow droids. Welcome to Not the Droids podcast. I'm Danny.
And I'm Mary. Today, we are finally getting into the movies and doing episode one, The Phantom Menace. But before we get into it, I just want to highlight again in mid-August, we're going to be in St. Louis and we have a panel at Enchanticon, which is shaping up to be a very lovely fantasy convention. Our panel is titled Not the Droids, Finding Your Way Through the Star Wars Universe. And it's really going to mimic kind of what we do here. We're keeping it light, keeping it happy, just going through how to get into Star Wars, what you need to know. And if you have any questions for us, just shoot us a DM on Instagram. We'd love to be able to address them during the panel.
Yeah, and we're also going to touch base about not just getting into the Star Wars fandom as content, but as a community. Like that's one of our big things is we enjoy being a community of fans and staying on the positive side of things. So we want to highlight that. We will actually also be releasing that panel as an episode later on. But if you are in the St. Louis area or if you are attending, we would love for you to stop by. We'll probably have stickers or something for the podcast. TBD. We'll see what happens, but we hope to see you there.
Yes.
And then before we go into the movie once again, we just want to take a moment. We are not a deep dive podcast. We enjoy talking about the movies and the shows and the characters and the droids, but this podcast is meant for people who are coming back to the fandom, starting the fandom, or just want to enjoy a lighthearted viewing of it. And we don't get too deep. There are other podcasts that do that, but we feel for us, the audience we keep is more lighter and just recapping a
Vibes.
little bit. Yeah, we're here for the vibes.
We're here for the
We're
vibes.
building a community, and that's who we are. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to deep dive. We just know there's a lot of content out there that does deep dive, and so we let them do what they're doing great. So we're gonna do
Yes.
what we like to do and what is natural to us in this realm of fandom. We do deep dive occasionally.
Yeah, it does not mean that if you come up to me and ask me a question that I cannot give you a full dissertation of how I feel about it.
Yes.
But for the purposes of this podcast, we like to keep it light and airy and fun.
And I feel like now that we're starting to get into the movies and like the Clone Wars, there may be moments where we do a bit of a deep dive just because of the content, but so far we haven't had anything where we felt like we had to really dig into some things. Um, so this is our first movie that we've done. I know we've both
Well,
been
I
a
mean,
little nervous because we
we
don't know what this is going to look like.
yeah, so we technically did the Life Day movie, but I don't really count that. That
That
was a
that's a fever
complete
dream. That is a
yes.
fever dream. It is very different, but we are in.
No, I am excited. I we have been doing this for so long and we have only just finally gotten to episode 1.
Phantom
Phantom
Menace.
Menace, which I have seen a few times before I rewatched it today. But I will say like watching it to take notes of things to call back to later made it so much more enjoyable because I was looking for like the little weird moments and I was like, like these are the things that really make the movie funny.
Hmm.
Um,
It's been a while since I watched it. I was also like trying to remember my initial reactions on some things of when I first saw it, because I know
when did the movie come out?
this movie came out May 19th, 1999. So I know for this movie, I used to take my brother to the movies for his birthday, so I have a little brother. Oh, he's taller, but he's not little anymore. But every year I would take him to a movie, and I know this is one of the first movies I took him to because he would have been about 8 years old, and my mom let us go by ourselves.
Yeah.
So she was in the same building, but you know.
Yeah.
But this is one of the first movies I took him to see for his birthday, just him and I.
That's cute. I so this is like 1999 was a weird time in my life. So I moved from Miami to Massachusetts. And that was the year that we moved. So I feel I can't remember if we saw it while we were in Miami because we didn't move till closer to the school year. I feel like so it could have been somewhere in between.
Mhm.
But I have to be honest, like when I was little, Star Wars did not interest me at all. I famously, in my friends, like slept through episode 3 at the movie theater. Um, like I got there and I fell asleep while everybody was watching it. So that's where it's just like being an adult and actually being into the Star Wars universe and watching it, rewatching it for the first time a few years ago. It was, first of all, not as bad as everybody like says that it was. Um, in terms of
The
like the
CGI is
acting.
rough.
Oh, the
I think
CGI.
that's the worst part is like the CGI, even though it was the thing when it came out.
Yeah, I have a
It was
note
rough.
in here that the CGI is so bad, but I feel like for the time that it came out, it
Yes.
was like I'm
Oh
just
yeah,
thinking
no, it was
about
great
like
for the time that it came
Independence
out.
Day, like
But now we're out here watching like laser version movies, Dolby, like the
it's like crazy how different CG is. But honestly, it didn't really distract me in this movie
no.
because I was like, this is an older movie, so I can get over it.
There was only one
Um,
moment of CGI that really bothered me.
was it the
No,
the animals?
it was Yoda.
I didn't really pay attention to Yoda.
Let me forefront with this. I am a huge Jim Henson fan.
Oh yeah, because
I
they'd
love
use
the
CG instead
puppetry,
of the physical puppet, right, for this movie.
and I feel like that was a loss. And I really
Yeah,
struggled with that because I am like, I follow the Puppetry Center online. Like, I love all the Muppets and puppets and Sesame Street and all that stuff. So seeing like CGI Yoda, it was just like, oh, it just felt like a loss.
yeah, I feel like
And they've
this was
returned to puppetry too.
yeah, I feel like when this movie came out is when CG first started
It
being like a
was.
very big thing.
I think
And
this is one of the
so they
first like big CGI movies.
because also 1999, that's when Harry Potter came out. Like,
Well, the books came out in 99, 98,
yeah,
99. But
yes.
George Lucas has always been like on the forefront of technology. With the original trilogy, like the stuff they were doing, and that's where his like Jim Henson connection came, is the stuff he wanted to do. A lot of it hadn't been created and they had to figure it out. So I know like having a new technology, they want to use it, and I get
They
it.
like abused it in this
I
movie.
don't think it was abused. It was just it was so new and exciting for movies. I think we think
Yeah.
it was abused because it is now how many years later? But I think it's just looking at it now, it's just like it's hard. Because we're also in this era where CGI has kind of run its course and people are wanting the real life
Yeah.
managing of it
Well,
now.
it's like we you saw Jurassic World, right? Like I saw Jurassic World
I haven't.
and
I saw Superman.
oh,
So
I also saw Superman. But Jurassic World, one of the best parts about it is that they went back to
yeah,
using animatronics
actual
for
effects.
the yeah, in
Yeah.
actual effects
And I think
in
there's a call for that
animatronics.
right now is less CGI, more practical effects.
Yeah. So, no, because I just like remember at the time when these were coming out, everybody was just like so negative about them. And this poor actor, this kid, honestly, when we were watching this movie, I was like, he did such a good job.
He did.
He did a great job.
And
Though I
this
spent the whole movie trying to remember the age gap between Amidala and Anakin, and it was so creepy in this movie, knowing what they become.
yeah.
And I was just like, he's 8.
Yes.
He's definitely 8 because also I was like, isn't that too old? And then I realized later it was a plot point that he
Yeah.
was too old for Jedi training. Because
Especially
I
after
think
we
of
saw that 1-year-old Ahsoka just became was
yes, I know. Um, but it's also interesting because it also brings in the dynamic that I didn't really think of before, which is like kids that
okay,
are
in the Phantom Menace, Anakin is 9 and Padme is 14.
okay, so there
So
is
it's
a
only
five
5
year,
years.
but
This age gap is a bit rough.
yeah, at this age, it's a rough age gap. But it is what was I saying before? It's interesting because I never thought about it that like the systems that are outside of the Republic, so like the Outer Rim systems,
Yeah.
I never really thought about what happens to the Force sensitive kids who don't get picked. Like this is
That aren't
I don't
well,
think I
even in the systems,
realized.
like there's some that don't get found or parents choose to not let people know that they have been
Yeah.
picked.
So that's why I will say, starting off this movie, they were like doing the thing and they were getting ambushed. And I was like, I forgot that like Jedi have all these powers and like not like I know they have powers, but like special abilities. Like,
Mhm.
how long did they hold their breath for in the poisoned
They,
gas room? They didn't have the
oh,
rebreathers
they
in
didn't have
that
the
room.
rebreathers.
You saw them be like,
Yeah,
and then everyone's like, they must be dead by now. And I was like, are they just like slowing their heartbeats down?
maybe they train a lot. I do want to say,
I don't know why I did that.
I don't know either.
Okay.
I do want to say that watching this and how it starts as episode one, if I had zero context to the other movies, I'm like, this started off crazy. Like it just threw you right in. You have no context.
That's how I felt the first time I watched it. I was like, what is even in this? What is this movie?
So, and I think that's one of the big, when people ask, like, how should people watch what order? One, I will always tell you if it's your first time watching, you don't start
New
here.
Hope. Yeah.
And I think part of it comes from the way this starts off, so much is assumed that you already know.
No, it does. That's where it's just like, it just kicks you off. You're like, you're supposed to understand what a trade confederation is. And then like they do like a snarky line where they're interrogating the leaders of the like federation or whatever, and they're
Mhm.
like, "We would never do anything without the permission of the Senate." And you're just sitting here, you're like, "What Senate? What federation? What is the
Yeah.
Republic? Like, why are we on this like random planet?
Yeah.
Why is this planet getting a blockade?" Um, right, like out of all the planets, like what, but like knowing Star Wars as I do now, having seen the other movies, like the original movies, because at this point the original movies were the only ones out. I
Yes.
didn't see the original movies before seeing this the first time,
Yeah. And
and
I
so I
think
was
this was
completely
written
lost.
in the aspect of people that were already fans. And
Yeah,
even though it's episode one, I don't think this was written for the newcomer.
no, it definitely was not, because
And
they
now, and I think one
actually
of the reasons, like, well, no, one, there was like a lot of hate for it, but it did rebirth a whole new set fan base. And I think it comes down to a lot of kids just let that slide. They're just like, oh, it's so cool. And then they get into it. And then at that point, you kind of forget that you
I feel
watched
like
it
the
without
younger
context.
kids did.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I feel like there was like a small age gap, right? Like if your parents or siblings didn't watch it, you didn't see it.
Yes.
Um,
You had
but
to be,
most people did,
yeah.
or they were young enough that they didn't care. I
Yes.
just feel like when I saw this movie the first time, I was in that weird bucket where like I didn't like if my dad loved MacGyver, right? Like it was we were not a Star Wars family. And so watching this, even though my family had seen the originals, I was just kind of like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
And it's a little weird. It was before I got like into like I would really loved Magic School Bus, but like this was beyond that.
It was pre-fandom for you.
Yeah, it was pre-fandom
Whereas
for me.
for me, I was more Star Trek growing up, but I
Oh
love
yeah,
any
no.
science fiction. So I was fine with like all this. I think I was like thinking about it. It probably was clo like some of the, my brother would have been 8 when this movie came out. So he was like prime age for this type of movie
To
to
be
be enjoyed
exciting.
and see past like the political stance through the movie
Yeah.
because of his age range. But it's a good age range that would create what are now some of the fans.
Yeah, so that's why it's like this was pre any fandom for me. Like I think the most that I was interested in at this point was Sailor Moon. Like that was where
Yeah.
I was at and Sanrio. Um, but it's so funny like watching it, like knowing that like Jar Jar Binks gets all this hate. And so I'm just kind of watching it and I'm like, I don't hate his character. It's really annoying to listen to the Gungans talk. I'm not gonna lie.
When I first, and this was like one of those things where I'm like, oh, this might be controversial. I remember seeing this and I had no issues with Jar Jar. Yeah, he was annoying. Also, the being like, what's the word? Kicked out, banned,
Oh
shunned,
yeah, banished.
banished because he's clumsy
Is that why I was just like,
when he's talking
he at
with
some point just falls upward. Like
yes.
every time he falls, he makes something, but he is like this the whole movie. I will say, like, one cool line that came from Jar Jar Binks and Qui-Gon Jinn's conversation is that when Qui-Gon Jinn was like, "Are you intelligent?" and Jar Jar Binks like, "I speak," and he goes, "The ability to speak does not make you intelligent." And I was like, "What a zinger that is! What a good line."
Hmm.
Because for me, like that is in a nutshell how I feel about a lot of the characters in Star Wars.
Yes.
Like they can talk, but they're absolutely terrible.
Um,
But
uh,
yes,
we also get to meet R2, who's already like saving things from the get-go.
he's a hoarder.
If droids could be Jedi, R2's a Jedi.
R2 is an honorary Jedi at that point. Like he's been
I mean,
around the
yes,
block.
like they're like this droid, like the unknown to everyone else, Queen is cleaning the special R2 unit,
Yeah.
which I
I
thought was
always like I always love how bad, like how much of a baddie she is that everyone she has so many decoys. And that even when they find out that she was the queen the whole time, it takes a long time in the movie for them to realize
yes.
that she's the queen.
And it's funny because now
Um,
when you watch it, you watch the little moments of Decoy Queen like looking at her and getting
like
like
getting
little,
cues.
yeah.
Young Kira Knightley, I love that.
Mhm.
Was decoy queen. Um, but it's funny too because like you see her in that like epic like red outfit with the hair.
Yes. I have like a whole like I want to talk about all of her outfits. So one of my favorite outfits are the I don't know the formal terms that people I know cosplayers always have like a term that they call certain outfits. The sunset decoy dress look. I love it. And I've always loved that. Like it looks like a sunset to me.
No, I know. I actually saw a video on TikTok because there was a group of people that did that
Mhm.
where they
It's very
had an
common.
Amidala and a bunch of decoys just walking with her, and they custom dyed the robes to be that like beautiful like orange and red
Yeah.
tones. Like it's so pretty and
Oh,
it's perfect for like it matches her red outfit so well.
yes.
With the little lights at the bottom. Oh, her like I
Yes.
saw someone do this outfit in person at Rhode Island Comic Con last year, and it is just
The amount
perfection.
of Amidala cosplay variety that happened at Star Wars Japan was wild. I know we saw the stereotypical red look, which we see a lot,
Yeah.
but someone had also done the like the black dark one. One that I was going to save this till the end, but I'm bringing it up. At the end, she is in this like gorgeous blush kind of look. I want someone to cosplay that. Because I was going to ask, like, if you had to
I
choose
will
one Amidala outfit, which would you cosplay from this movie? Only this one.
only this
We're
movie.
boxing it in. We've only watched this one now.
No, there's so many good ones. I actually had a note the last outfit that she wore in this one, the like white ethereal
Yeah.
type with the wings,
Yes.
that one was so pretty.
Yes. That one
Um,
would be my choice. I'm like, if I ever actually decided to, I
no, you know
want
what?
that to be my thing.
Actually, I was thinking this, the end battle scene, her outfit slaps.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking more along the lines of her, like, very extensive,
You know what the thing is? It's like
big.
I think like practically, and I'm just like I don't think I could wear all of that.
That's why I said the big ones because you and I would not cosplay those things. We are
No,
both
it's like
very
too.
practical, we do little odd things here and there, but like we try to go for comfort and functionality that we would never be able to do like a dress like that. And that's why I'm like, if we ever were that type of cosplayer,
Oh my
which one
God.
would you do? Because
I
yeah,
think we
easily
need
we
to,
were gonna go with a battle look.
yeah, I'm looking up all the other looks because like I was watching, but like I don't think I was like registering every single look because the decoy wears so many looks. And
Yeah, the ones I remember are the red one, the black one, and then the end scene one. And I don't think I had really noticed the end scene one before because you never get like a really good close up on it.
yeah, you don't, but it's really cool.
Yeah.
No, I kind of stick by it. Like all of them are cool, but I still really love her like battle outfit. Everything else just looks so much.
I know, but you have to choose one of the muchness ones.
Um, I
See, I assumed
do.
you were just gonna automatically go like the black one, of course.
No, I still I stand by like the last one in the last scene.
So pretty.
It's so pretty.
And it's so like
Um,
opposite of what I would ever want to do. I
I
don't
do
like light
like
colors. I'm not fluffy. Like,
I do like the black one, but I like the fluffy. Like it's so different than all of her other looks.
I think part of it is also we're living in this Glinda Elphaba moment, and it makes me feel very like flouncy like Glinda.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there. Plus, I will say like honestly, the red dress and the decoy dress
Mhm.
are the best dresses.
Yes.
Sorry.
There's another
Um,
dress from a different movie that I fell in love with, but we'll get there when we get there.
yeah, I might actually pay more attention as we watch the movies. But I will say this is one of the best things to come out of this like 1 through 3 trilogy is the one thing that hit every time was Amidala's
Yes.
outfits.
I mean, Amidala
Um,
in general hit every single time.
she
Oh
was like
no.
the perfect character. Natalie did the best job with her. Um, but no. I was like in my notes, I'm like, she looks so much older than him. But again, if he's 9 and she's 14, that makes
Yeah.
the most sense.
All right. So
Um,
now we're in Tatooine.
yes. Yes. I do like the little aside that Anakin has when she's like, "Are you a slave?" And he's like, "I'm a person.
Yeah. And my
Like
name's
I am a
Anakin.
person. My name's Anakin." And honestly, I would love to know if some of these moments were improv because like when he gets told that he can go home for the day and he goes, "Yippee," and
Yeah.
I was like, "That's hilarious." Um, but no, so like what their ship got damaged, crashed, whatever. They ended up on Tatooine.
Yep.
The Republic credits aren't good because Tatooine is an outer rim planet, which I didn't really understand. Again, like when I first watched this is one of those things like, what does that even mean? Um, but I guess I just assumed that all planets were part of the Republic. I didn't really think about there being a whole section of planets that are
Which
not.
is funny because we've done enough shows that you know that there are places not part of the
I
Republic.
guess I just like didn't think that deep about it.
Yeah.
I just assumed that Republic credits were good everywhere. So the fact that he had so much money that he couldn't use was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Um, but I was just laughing. I literally wrote up here Anakin's good at picking up chicks because somehow he
Are you an
finessed his
angel?
way.
I love that he goes with that line, but then he like also gives the history of the line. He's like, "Oh, I've been paying attention. It's from this planet, and they're this, and they're supposed to be." I was like, "He's
Yeah, the pilots say it. So like it's cool that they also like add in little things about
Mhm.
Anakin, like where he gets his like news and like I don't know. I just was watching this and I can't get over how gross the bug guy is. The guy like his owner, and I was just like, ugh, I forgot how nasty that bug is. Um, but I did love the like when R2 and 3PO met and R2 was like, "You're naked." It's
love it too."
like you have no casing. You're naked. What are you doing?
But it's also we see them that form their friendship
I love that
because you know
C3PO is like,
they're
I'm
such
a
a duo.
yeah, they're like he's like, I'm a protocol droid. I never want to leave the planet. Like get in a starship? Absolutely
Yeah.
not. Um, but no. I also love that like Anakin calls the lightsaber a laser sword,
Wait, the sword.
which I was like, was that on purpose? But no, I
Didn't,
honestly,
as you said that, didn't Cyrus call it a laser sword in one
I think he
episode?
did. I think he
So that's a
did.
cute little. I was like, wait, we've heard that.
I think he
I
did.
think he did. And Kai was like, it's a lightsaber.
Yes. He's like, whatever.
That's a little
Um,
nice little callback in there.
I honestly like after watching all of Star Wars,
Mm,
I think that it's like worth going back to Young Jedi to be like, they have crammed
so many Easter eggs.
so many Easter eggs
And it's
in
not even
that
just
show.
watching. You could read the High
Yeah,
Republic books and get a bunch of,
Easter eggs. Like the people who wrote that show
they know
just
there's,
like did so many callbacks, but no. And then we like, get into the pod racing, which is not my favorite scenes. I feel like they went on for too long. This is where it was like gratuitous CGI
yeah.
for me. It was like we didn't need this much.
So pod
Mm.
racing and then Darth Maul appears. I skipped a lot, but hey, Darth
You
Maul
skipped a
appears.
lot.
I know, but we can't have this episode being 3 hours long.
I know, I know. I will say like um the scenes where he like left his mom behind but I want to call when he leaves 3PO, when he's like, so sorry that you're not done. I'll like try and make sure that my mom doesn't like sell you or anything. And I was like,
Yeah.
it's such a little kid thing, like, bye.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so when we see Darth Maul, and it's just very much watching these things and seeing like the hooded figure. I don't know how nobody figured it out. And I feel like everybody figured out who the hooded figure was.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I can't remember if this was like a big reveal or if everybody had figured it out because it feels obvious to me, but it could just be because I've seen all the movies.
I don't feel like it was like a big reveal. I think, you know, an acolyte when they like kind of revealed, like, hey, I think it was kind of like that where it's unexpected that the Sith are in play again type of
Yeah.
situation. Versus, oh, this big reveal, he's here. And they think it was more so they're like, oh, wait, I think the reveal was more, oh, he is trained properly.
Yeah,
He's
he's
not
not
just
just like force sensitive and
well, it's
and
not even that.
and
He's not just some
self-taught.
random bad guy that's trying to intervene here. He is trained like something bigger is going on. Because at the end we see there's always two, an apprentice and
Yeah, a master.
master. So, and I think that's really where the shock comes in is that they're like, oh, they're back type of a deal. Um, I do think this movie is where Star Wars started really pushing their choreography. Like,
I will say the choreography in this trilogy is great.
oh, it is great. And we've also, from the amounts of interviews and clips we've seen, we know that like,
They
um,
really worked on it.
well, Ewan and Hayden were definitely like doing their own and making things up
Yeah.
and figuring it out. And it shows, and I think this set off the type of choreography that allowed where we're at now to have been built. Like
Yeah.
Acolyte, one of the
Oh,
newest things that had released, the
the
choreography was
choreography in
phenomenal.
Acolyte is amazing.
And it may have not been that way had it not been for this trilogy.
Yeah, that's true. Um, I will say it took me an unfortunately long amount of time to figure out that Palpatine was the senator for Naboo. I don't know why. I was just like, it was not clicking for me. And then I
Hmm.
was like, oh, he's so smart. Now I get it. And when I mean, I also earlier when I said reveal, like to the audience, like I
Yes.
don't know if the audience figured out who the person in the cloak was. I feel
Yeah.
like it was obvious
Hmm.
that it was Palpatine. Spoilers.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. He's so smart. Why the Trade
Do
Federation
you
attacked
think it was
Naboo?
obvious to you because you know where
That's what I'm
Palpatine
trying to figure it out.
Well, yeah, because I'm
Because
like, because new people having seen this may have not caught on.
I don't know that
But,
I figured it out until the second movie
hmm
when I first watched
But
these.
because we
Like,
have also seen the new trilogy.
yeah, so we like really know the name Palpatine.
Yes.
But I think looking at it now, I recognize. I wonder if people who know that actor well
Mhm.
knew that it was Palpatine
I would
because they
assume
didn't.
so.
They did the bottom half of the face, right? Like they Supermaned him. Like
Yeah,
so
I
it's
bet.
just like if you know his face well enough, you know. But if you're like unobservant,
And you're just like,
um,
if you write him off as just like a random senator and you're not
yeah,
connecting the dots, yes,
then
it
you're
would have
not
been a big
getting it. But
reveal.
I think by the end, when they actually show the bottom of his face, it's pretty
Yes.
obvious, to be
Yeah.
honest. So that's where I was just like, oh, he is so smart. He had the
Well, because
Trade
it's not
Federation.
hidden in the next movie. Like,
No, it's not.
so I think
Um,
they had to be like, we're kind of revealing it here because we need them to know because of what
that
happened.
it's him. Well, because that's what I was saying. It's a very smart plan that he came
Yeah.
up with because he had the Trade Federation attack Naboo because he knew that he could manipulate Amidala into
Yeah.
getting him elected chancellor because they said it part of the reason that he got elected chancellor was because of the sympathy vote
Yes.
of his planet being attacked.
Yeah.
And this is where it's just like, oh right, how familiar this feels. They gave him power
Yes.
and it eventually it turned into what it is. I do love the one scene where they're like evaluating Anakin and trying to decide. There's this like Samuel L. Jackson lets out this like almighty sigh, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, Mace Windu is tired. He is tired with a capital T. Um, but like that's why it's like these little things that kept happening. The one thing that kept tossing me out was the like auto-tuned Amidala voice where they like settled so low in the register, Senator. And I'm like, what is
Yeah.
happening? And I assume they're like trained so that the girls all sound the
All sound
same,
the same. Yeah, that all of them can do this. So it had to be like a little different because you also didn't want to know, they did not want to reveal the Padme reveal until it happened.
which yes, which that's another thing. Like I actually do remember being so shocked because I was like, what? This?
Yes.
I do love the moment where they find out and like what is it? Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan's faces when they
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, this girl
How did we not connect the
with
dots?
us."
This 14-year-old girl.
The whole time they're with her, we're like, we don't know how the queen feels, and she's like, I'm sure the queen will agree.
Or well, there was that one moment where like she was making Qui-Gon was making a decision and Padme was like, I don't think the queen will like this and like we know it and she's just like
She's like, no, you
it was like
don't.
something along the lines of I don't think you know her as well as you think you do.
Yes, like you don't know her. Obviously, you would know who
Yeah,
she
I think it
was.
was like with Anakin pod racing. I think it had something to do with him doing these races and everything. Because then she found out he had never won a race, and she was like,
Oh my God, she was so shook. She was like, you've never actually won?
"You've never finished?"
We bet my ship on the fact that you've never won. Um, I do like the Nubian ship designs.
Yes, it's very sleek.
That's another thing I didn't realize. Like I had heard Nubian, but I
You
didn't
never
realize like
connected it to
to
Naboo.
Naboo.
Do you think Nubian and Pubian are related in any way, or are in
Nope.
the same planet cluster?
I wonder if they're in the same system. Yeah, maybe. I'm just throwing you a bone here.
I
I
know
don't
you.
really think
I
that.
know. You know what I mean? All right,
But
so
yeah, I was saying because we get Maul again, right? So we're going back to the planet where it's very tense, as Anakin says. wrote it in all caps. I was like, this is tense because he says that. And I was like, I mean, yes, bro. Every time I see Darth Maul, now that I cosplay, I just look at his contacts and I'm just like, oh, my eyes, my eyes.
And then the body paint too. I'm like,
Oh my
oh.
God. And it's like so wet. Like you can tell
You
that
could tell
it's,
makeup has come a long way.
yes, it has, but it's just like crazy. Have you seen Have you seen that interview with Ewan and Hayden where the interviewer admits that she's attracted to Darth Maul? And they both, their face, you have to look it up, but the memes are hilarious because they're both just like concerned for her.
Yes.
And then Hayden goes, well, I get it. Like, I see, whatever. And Ewan is just like disturbed.
He was like, I,
Yeah. But now I can't, like, every time I saw him, I was like, oh my God, the eyes. How
yeah,
are his eyes not burning?
they probably are, honestly.
Maybe that's why he kept them so wide the whole time.
Yeah.
Um, but that's why I was like doing these things. I was like, why are Star Wars people always fighting on these really high platforms? Like it's always in some
Now they can do
power
really cool
engine.
jumps.
It's so annoying. It's like, guys, what? And then watching it again and seeing Qui-Gon die, I was like, that man got cocky. That man thought that he could beat that guy and got cocky and paid the price.
Do you want to know what I wrote?
He got skewered.
No, I wrote, is this the only time that Liam Neeson dies in a movie?
I think it is.
I mean, technically, Aslan dies, but he comes back. But any other movie, Liam Neeson is known
Doesn't
for
die.
like, I was like, is this the time? Like the
Oh my
only time this
God.
happens.
That is funny. I didn't even think about that. But I was just like, this is tense. I do also love Anakin's like malicious compliance,
Mhm.
where Qui-Gon said, "Do not leave this cockpit," and he was like, "I didn't.
No,
I
he
didn't leave the
told me
cockpit.
not to leave.
You told me not to leave. I'm just sitting in here helping out. A girl
Yeah.
couldn't have won this war without me. Um,
Stuck on
and apparently,
autopilot. Oops.
this is where it's just like I appreciate that Jar Jar is a character. I just don't care. I honestly don't
How
care
do you feel about the theories?
that Jar Jar is a Sith.
Yes.
I think that he is either an absolutely brilliant strategist, that he's so bumbling and dumb that nobody suspects it. But I don't believe that. Watching him in this movie, it is not intentional. Um, it's not. I don't think he's a Sith. I just think that
Yeah.
he is like, like one of those people that just wants to constantly impress people and is always falling short.
So, and the real hero of this entire movie, R2.
R2, always. R2 saves the franchise every minute
Mm.
of every day
Yes.
that this droid rolls around. I mean, I love R2. I think I love how everybody was just like failing upwards in this movie. It's like, oh,
It
I
really
guess
was.
we don't know why it's working and why we're winning, but we've won
Can we
somehow.
also mention, we're kind of jumping around a lot right now. The Duel of the Fates music is so good.
The music in this movie is so good. Even like the Darth Maul intro music when he's like walking
Hmm.
out into Tatooine, and I was like, "Ooh,
Hmm.
this is
And then I always love the moment because they've also done this in like Young Jedi, and I know it's from other things, but I love when like Obi-Wan is hanging on the thing and he's looking at
Qui-Gon."
Qui-Gon's saber and it's the Force music that goes. And it's just
Yeah, I think they do that so
I
purposefully,
do
so to
think the
like
cutting in a half was a little excessive. I feel
he
like I
was
don't know if he would
mad.
have been able to let. Yeah, I just
I mean,
science-wise, I'm like, could he have actually cut him in half?
I think the laser science works there.
Yeah.
The plasma science works.
So
If you think about it, like we saw them in the beginning, like cutting open a like
very
thick, thick,
true.
thick steel door, just using the heat
You're right.
generated from the
Well, because that
lightsaber.
also,
So
yeah.
yeah, so I mean, there's some physics there. I think that you can cut someone in half like that.
We'll have to get
Um,
Busters on it.
I also don't question in like fighting movies when people's samurai swords are so sharp that they cut people in half.
So true.
I'm like, I don't question it. I'm like, yeah, sure.
I think I more questioned when he was falling and he looked like he was doing this, like help me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you're dead, dude.
I couldn't just let the pieces fall. Um, but yeah, no. I forgot that Qui-Gon died so early in this, and
Yeah.
that also the Darth Maul died so early.
Oh yeah, he was a
Um,
one-hit wonder.
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And now we don't quite move on to movie two.
no, we
We
have
jump back
one
to one episode of Tales of the Jedi, and then one episode of Forces of Destiny, and then we go to season two of Not the Droids with the start of Attack of the Clones.
episode 2. So until then, we're not the droids you're looking for.
But we're the droids you're gonna get.